You're not first, Shay?
Coach, what did you think about Rakese's effort and energy today?
Well, I thought Rakese did well. He didn't play the first half, obviously, and put him in there. And I thought, he got his hands on about 3 balls in the first, 3 or 4 minutes he's in there. And I thought he did really well. And that's what he can do. He can bring energy like that. And I thought it was good because I think a couple other guys, if they played with comparable energy, they could do a lot more too. So I think that was good to see.
What did you think the team was doing well during those early stretches in the second half, especially as compared to the first half?
Well, I thought actually, you probably won't write this, but other than defensive rebounding, that's the best we played defensively. Our ball screen defense was on point. We just didn't rebound the ball lick the first half, but and then they get to the free throw line, but I thought the second half we obviously defensive rebound. I think they got one the second half and no points, and after getting 9 and 14 the first half. So I think that's probably the biggest thing we did, and our energy was good. And I really felt like we probably actually played a little better in the second half than the score actually indicated. Because they got to the free throw line and made some free throws. 21 played great for them. But we can play a lot better. But I thought tonight was a good step in the right direction.
And how is Flory? Is moving along okay?
He I don't think he should have played, but in a big game. Where maybe you didn't have another game coming up immediately after, he could have been back out there probably. So he'll be off of it a day or two, but hopefully he'll be practicing by Friday.
Just to be clear, for Flory, is that an ankle or something else?
No, it's his ankle.
His ankle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then is that just going with KJ at the 5 and Zach at times 2? Is that just your mindset of how you would go with that? Or if you had more time to plan, knowing Flory wasn't available, would you potentially do something else?
We don't have any other options. Zach and KJ would be the only other 2 options that we would have to play the 5 if Flory's not in there. So no, we told him at halftime that's what we'd do.
Coach, you're racking up the milestones with wins last week, becoming the all-time leader here at KU, and you're 800 tonight. Do you remember who your first head coaching win was against?
Ooh. Do you know?
I looked it up, yeah.
Was it Loyola Marymount?
Sam Houston State, but I just didn't know if
Sam
the win. Yeah, Sam Houston State. I didn't know if these wins and milestones, if you just knew who your first was.
I don't, but I've had some health issues, so maybe my mind doesn't work the same way as it used to. So I don't usually remember the wins as much as I remember the losses. But yeah, Sam Houston State, huh? Jerry Hopkins was the coach there then, if you want to look that up too. I remember that.
Diggy's had a few of these good scoring performances in these bye games. What does he need to do to kind of translate that level of production to the higher level opponents?
Well, I think tonight he guarded. He over-penetrated one time and tried to score over length, which is not probably a great move for him. But I don't really think when you shoot a lot of threes primarily. A lot of times, the athletes you're playing against, you still get looks. You just got to make them. They're just maybe a little bit more rushed, and obviously playing against a little bit more length. But I think he can play at this level and be consistently good. With him, we'll judge him a lot of times on if he makes shots or not, and tonight he was 3 for 4 and did a good job. But I could see him getting those same looks against, conference opponents. But we can't expect him to shoot 75% every game.
Bill, I think you said previously you were hoping for that 40% mark around 3. You guys have kind of had a up and down season so far for 3-point shooting. Is there anything you think you can do differently, or is it just kind of waiting for the shots to kind of drop?
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. If you what were we 6 of 25, and if you go 9 of 25, it's a 27-point game. But they were good looks. I bet of the 25, maybe one or two that you wouldn't want. Maybe that Shaq took one, which I didn't think he needed to. But other than that, the right guys are shooting them. So we'll make them. We'll make them.
Coach, I know it's obviously early in the season. You kind of have a break coming up. Do you like where your team is at 5 games in? Do you like where you guys are at this stage?
Not probably consistently where I like for us to be at. I think we're leaving a lot of points out there. I think free throw line. One thing that surprisingly we've done a good job of is we actually get a shot most every possession. We don't turn it over a lot. At least knock on wood, we haven't yet. I think our ball screen defense obviously can get better and just guarding your man. Most of the time they scored tonight was when 21 just went and made a basket on Flory or Hunt. So we can get better individually defensively, but I think offensively when we play with pace we're pretty good. When we don't play with pace we get pretty stale, and I still think Rylan and AJ aren't comfortable yet. So there's a lot of things to get better at, but I do think we're gaining on it.
Short-lived, but what's the thinking about putting Hunter and Flory out there together?
I think we need to play that way. I think if you're going to play, 9 guys, if you really break it down, you'll have, basically 4 guys playing 2 spots, and you'll have 3 guys playing 2 spots, and then get Flory 5 to 7 minutes in that spot, and then let Flory back up Hunt. So I actually think that's something we probably need to do. 5-7 minutes a game.
Is there anything in particular you like about it other than the way it fits your rotation?
I think it just keeps our best players in the game. And Flory's an athlete that can block and alter, and he probably needs to play closer to 20 minutes than he does, 12 or 15.
What's the schedule look like leading into Duke? And what do you want to get accomplished?
We're going to take tomorrow off, and then we'll practice Thursday and Friday hard, and then very light probably on Saturday, and then practice Sunday and Monday. So I haven't watched Duke yet, but we'll have a great game to watch them against a quality opponent, obviously with Kentucky, and then they play at Arizona on Friday. So we'll have 2 games where we'll have a pretty good book on them, just like they'll have a pretty good book on us, I would think, by Tuesday.
Juan said he is feeling a lot fresher with less minutes. What do you think of his defense tonight? And
I think Juan's. I don't know what you guys think. Juan's turned it up. He's turned it up. He looks much more active defensively than he was last year. I don't know how you guys feel, but at least that's the way I think. I think lesser minutes is probably help. But also with seniors, there's no longer a safety net too. So I think there's a sense of urgency with guys in their last year too. But I think if you look at 17, 6, and 1, and there's a guy that's getting 23, goes 2 for 9, you could say he did some good things tonight.
You already mentioned it, but how will you remember win number 800?
Probably being embarrassed because I can't remember number 1. That's probably what I'll remember about tonight. I forgot we played Sam Houston State in my first game ever. So.
Anything else?
I don't.